Hello people, so hope you're doing well. And yeah, onto the bike. That one is done anyways. But all this mess, all these pads these pads and some problems that we can have, in particular glazing. So we have to discuss the touch the areas of glazing here. As you see, the pad and the disc is also not looking too good. Only the fine outer 5-6 mm of the disc is in a different shade, than the rest of it is bluish, and that is basically what glazing. Just to give a brief idea what glazing it is the overheating of the pads to a point where the material on the disc pads gets crystallized and gets hard, and it does not creates enough friction, and it just glides over the disc, thus reducing the braking effectiveness overall. Now here is an interesting case because we are just seeing the outer portion is okay, that is the only thing that is staying in contact, the rest is turning out to be blue. Pads at fault, a lot of reasons can be there, but this needs to be sorted out, so let's move on. As for the reasons, well, it could be because of sticking calipers. If the pins on which the brakes slide in the caliper, if that is dirty or is pitted, if not greased properly, it will always keep in contact, always keep the brake in contact with the disc, thus leading to overheating. Riding too much in stop-go traffic can actually also lead to this, and not bedding them in properly once you have changed the pads can also make things worse. So let's carry on, let's clean things up. I'm just taking some measurements just to be sure that this is within the spec and I don't need to change it, and I don't actually have to get it resurfaced, just cleaning it with sandpaper will do. So let's move on. So let's take the caliper out. Now one of my very good friends asked me, since we have to push it out, why can't we just hammer it out while the caliper is in? Well, to each his own. I just don't like it that way. I don't think that's a very good idea. There is a chance that you might end up bending something which should stay straight. So anyways, just opening them, 12 mm bit, these two. Let's move on. 12 mm out. This should come out easily. Removing the clamps. Caliper out. Before any hammering begins, we have to make sure that this cotter pin comes out. You can use a plier, would actually even come out with a hand if things are clean. And I'll just be using this. Maybe 5-10 hammers later, that is gonna come off. And there you go. Whatever amount of hammers it took, that's out. There's the pin out. Now let's get the pads out. It does not take a lot of hammering, just 5-6 hammers, and the pin is out. Then the pads can be out. Now let's look at the condition of the pads at this point. Even on all sides, so that does not explain it. But once you open them up, see that the outer 5 mm is staying in contact with the disc. Thus same can be seen on the disc itself, and the inner one is just very shiny and getting very smooth and glass finish, that glazing effect. So yeah, I'll be changing them. These are from Yamaha R15 V3. V2 are not the same, so I have those lying around somewhere as well. Yeah, there they are. So these are not the same. These are the rear ones again, but yeah, no, these are the ones that we need to concentrate on. And basically source, if you want to upgrade to, now cost wise these are slightly expensive. These ones from Yamaha FZ 1516, whatever it is called, as you would remember, and these were like about I don't know, 175ish. I seriously don't know, please check the other video. Now I have basically not opened this, so let me open this. And here we go. Looks like these are much better quality than the stock ones which are lying somewhere around. Sizing and everything is the same. I have checked that prior to sourcing these. As you can see, I guess I'll be upgrading to these. And yeah, so let's put these in. What I wanted to show here, as you can see that this one has extra grooves. I mean, just a brief, I'm not going to go into the details. Most of you would already know and would be thinking why I'm talking about this. But these extra grooves that you see, these and this has only like one single groove. This means that this has better heat dissipation. That is what they are for. And also for indication, kind of, once pads have come to this level, you should consider changing them. I mean, they would go a bit, I'm not gonna say anything, but you get the point. Maybe if these make sense, these are the part numbers that you can look for. So let's move on. Now for the next part, as you would have seen in the rear video, rear brake video, sorry, this is gonna come out. Here we go. Now again, letting that one go. Now this rubber can come off as well, because we would have to clean all of that. Now this one has the mount on the caliper itself, so that is going to be this one. Now this again, as on the rear, this can come off easily. You just have to keep twisting it, pull it out. So this is out. Now this is going to be cleaned. This pin, we can remove this pin as well. Shouldn't take much of an effort. Now as for the greasing, it was done about 7,000-8,000 kilometers before, and as you can see, not so not much to mention. All of it has gone off, and same would be, I guess, the case on this. You can use a brake cleaner like this, high pressure one, but I just use this when I'm in a rush. Otherwise, this basically, some water and a beautiful toothbrush. Now this is the problematic one. I hope the camera can capture it. So as you see, this scraping here, if I run my nail through it, it is digging in. Once the brake pad goes in here, it just gets stuck, and then all weird things happen. Let's try and see what we are dealing with. The pin in the caliper goes in like this, just some brake pads, and this is how it works, right? Now if there is some kind of ding eventually because of the wear and tear in the pin somewhere around here, what will happen is you press the brake and the caliper comes out like this, not this much, we will get the point, and once you press them, they go back in like this. And this slide on this pin is stationary always, right? But if there is a ding, what will happen is it will come to one point, then it will get just stuck and it will just skirt out like this. And this is the portion that will be just touching, and that is what is happening. So it should all be even, and of course this pin along with the pin that is in the calipers themselves, if they are properly greased, though this one is not greased, those pins are inside the rubber. If they are not properly greased, then again you hear all the brake noises and uneven movement of the brake. The brakes are not coming properly out, and that is what happened, and I'm guessing that is what we are dealing with. So basically what I'll be doing now, since I've cleaned it, and yeah, this was that spring effect that I was talking about that goes into the caliper and gets stuck, which you have to hammer it out. So, but any which ways, now what I'll be doing is just scrubbing this with good old 400 grit sandpaper. So yeah, this is done, and I bet you can't even see where it was originally, right? Basically the idea was just this: hold it thus and then just go inside outside and keep rotating it. Now the question is, what can we do about this? Now of course I can take this to get resurfaced. I know a shop where they do resurfacing of car brakes, but I don't think we are having that big a deal here, so I'll just be using some 300 grit sandpaper and just doing some scrubbing motion. So basically, what if you intend to do this, all you have to remember is just take it crisscross pattern like this and like this, then again move up and then this, and again it would be better if you can use something to support like a wooden block. I would have to cut a bigger piece, but you get the idea. Don't have to scrub it extra clean, but once this side is done, as you can see, almost done, do not forget to get the same things done on the other side. So yeah, some more paper, and on this side you cannot use a wooden block, okay, unless you have a very thin one. So again, going this way and then going this way. So let's get going on this side as well. Okay, so this side is kind of done as well. Now up to the cleaning. Okay, so as I said, don't have to just go overboard with anything. This is decent enough. There you go, just to clean that. Cloth, some brake cleaner, and simply just rotating the wheel as it wipes it up. You get the point? Let me finish this. As you can see, everything cleaned. This area again with the brush, putting it in, and then again dried. Don't leave any water. Yeah, so this is dry and everything is ready to go back in. But now we just first have to put these in. Now two things that you can do at this point. Apply hand pressure. Let's try that. Okay, not gonna lie, it is going in. Yeah, this is going sweetly in, as you can see. But if it was not going in, you know the tip. You just have to open up the cap on the reservoir at the handle and then just press them. But yeah, this one went fairly easily in. That is nice. Now these have to be even. Just make sure that these are even at both points. So let's start putting the assembly back. Just fold it. Trust me, it does not get damaged. This is going to last for a very long time. Just twist it. This one is in, and same for this one. This one is quite easy. Edges, these just go simply in there. So yeah, as you see, these are in as well. Try silicone grease, but the point is not to use it excessively, as you would go with normal lithium or petroleum grease. Just very small amount, because this much should be enough, wherein the other petroleum lithium grease you would have been like taking at least toothpaste size. This one would do for these. I'll be using the same amount on, nothing greasing on this one, and this is just gonna simply slide in like this. If anything you see on the outside as residue, please do clean it with clean hands, not touching the pad material. We have to put these in. Now the trick is very simple. This portion, this one is gonna go in. One pad at a time would be good, but anyways, let's try and do this at one go. So here you go. That's one, and that's two. Simple. And now this pin has to be put back in. You can use a soft hammer at this point. Tap it in. So yeah, 10-12 hammers later, this is where we are. Now this hole that you see, this right here, the cotter pin is gonna go in. Just keeping enough of gap, holding it nicely, getting the camera angle right, and this should slide in easily like this. Now let's put these back in, but at this point I will not be totally tightening them, just tightening them with hand pressure. Now I have used this car jack, as I said, to just lift the front wheel up. So now before I tighten them, now I'll just rotate it, grab the brake lever. Once I have aligned them properly, only then I'll be tightening these. Remember that part. So I cannot capture that, but you get the point. Here I go. Now I've pushed the brakes in, and now I'm holding the brake as I tighten. Okay, that's done. Next part will be just putting in these clamps and everything. Simple job. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bike is good to go. We'll be taking a short ride after this, and again for next 400-500 kilometers, the proper bedding in or kind of running in of the brakes would have to be taken care of. Please do remember that. Do not let them overheat. Do not do sudden braking. If you have to, you have to, but just don't do it intentionally, like if you want to stop you or anything. I mean, you get the point. Not that, well, it's going to be easy on this one, but anyways, you get the point. So basically just ride it simply. Let the brake pads go through all the heat cycle and everything, and that's it. Thanks. Bye.